later.
Okay, thank you. I will.
Okay, we're live on YouTube now.
Okay. We're
Yeah.
live on YouTube. Oh boy. I've hit the big time. Um, this time I'm just gonna, we'll do the same thing. Well, the problem with watercolors is you can't really, if you lay things out really geometric, you have to go fast. So okay, I'll do that. Okay, look, let's see. I'm gonna. By the way, look how saturated the color looks here, and look how up here it doesn't look as saturated because you're in the shadows. Okay. If I'm going to lay things out geometrically in watercolor, I have to move, 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 move. That might be good for a demo, right? Because
Yeah, you like to
you don't
move
want to
it,
be here
move
all
it.
day. Okay. Here my other, I see kind of a bluishy purple thing, and I won't be able to get that white highlight on the top unless I wipe it out really quick with Viva towels, folks. Viva pays me for that. I get Viva kickbacks. They should. I can't imagine how many people must have bought towels because of. It really is the best.
The cotton paper towel, yeah.
So I'm just gonna work with that shape there a little bit. See how it dries it out? Look at the hard edges I'm getting.
Already.
Yeah. Okay. There's a nice little white there along the edge I missed. Let's see if I can still get it. Okay. There we go. Now I made the sky white. How do I fix that? Well, here's a real quick little tip too. Keep a wet edge like this. See? Keep a wet edge. Now, it'll stay wet for about a minute. I can come back here with a little sky color and just fix that.
Is
Okay.
your sky color cerulean blue or is it whatever?
Well, there's phthalo in it, and I had a little of this in it, this ultramarine. But look what's on my. There's a whole bunch of gook down there. There's something's graying it. So, we'll just call it a grayish,
Lavender.
bluish, greenish.
Perfect color.
Okay, good enough. Let's move to that. Foreground one. It's got a lot of warm in it. I mean, I added, okay, that was my color of the day, quinacridone yellow. Don't ask me to say quinacridone again because I don't know how to say quinacridone. I said it 3 times.
Good job.
That's 3 times too many. Okay. Let's pull that way up and over, and I think I'm seeing a lot more orange in it. So I take a stab at it, knowing that remember it's going to dry lighter, and the watercolor is going to affect the color. I mean the paper. Whew, that was tough to get that one out. The paper is going to affect the color. It's like when you add water, you're adding white. Think of it like I just did oil, right? I had to add white. Now I'm adding water to get the color. Okay. Again, keep a wet edge. And look, I wasn't thinking ahead again, right? Remember I said I should have brought the last one down into the water. Watch, I'll do this. I'll take this color right here and bring it down into the water, like like this. And that. Even though my shoreline's, you know, maybe in there. And then I'll take some of that sky color. I'm sorry, I'll take the mountain color, excuse me. Now see that big juicy edge right there? If I put this mountain color there and I put it right into it, and it's just gonna go right into it, right? So let me dry that up a touch. There we go. And then maybe some of my let me make that a little bit darker. Hey George, it's a good day.
You found it without having to call Hector. I could have.
It's there all the time.
Oh, he does.
I have to call him.
Lot 4. Did you get my email?
Yes.
Oh, you're the only one. Okay. And then I have all that dark vegetation along the edge. You know, I feel like my friend back in Arizona who, when he's done with the painting when it dries. He's
That's
done.
it.
Yeah, that's how fast he paints. He's the one that paints with 2 brushes.
Oh, God. That drip looks good.
Well, that I can turn that into a reflection. This dried a little lighter. That's getting dry brushish. So I better be done pretty soon,
What's
right?
reflection this is?
And I can just Alright. And we have that landmass there.
You should have binoculars. What kind of birds are those big white ones? Pelicans?
Yeah, pelicans.
That they were pelicans? Yeah, they were sort of pelicans.
Those over there are birds. I thought they were oh well. Not like that.
That's okay. That's okay. They'll help you paint.
That's right. I'll paint them like a rock.
They're rocks that live
Not much.
with yellow feet.
Oh, there's one that's great. That's a rock.
Yeah,
Just remember,
See the
all of this
No.
gets reflected down into there, and then this,
I'm gonna dig it tomorrow.
and then maybe this.
I didn't know we had pelicans.
This is really getting dry though, so before I put that in there, I might as well just ripple it up a little bit. Just ripple those edges up a little
They're
bit.
raws.
Look at how beautiful the wakes of these ducks.
With all the little ripples that come out.
The sky is reflecting.
Hey, aren't those great?
I have never heard what ducks leave as wakes. Only wakes with boats. But
What else would you
I think it's it's great.
It's got
It's
you there,
terrific.
right? It
A
got
wake is awake
We knew immediately.
when I'm awake.
I think they are awake.
All right. All right. So we have a few of those guys.
Look at the design.
you. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
You're not talking about my painting?
We
But
are.
Look at the design of the wakes of the ducks, Rob. In the water.
Ooh, you know what? I wonder
Oh, does it put the wakes in?
if we can palette knife them in.
And
Water
it's
color.
causing the reflection of the sky. You know, right?
Yeah.
It makes it blue.
Let's see.
It's so dry. Hard to do that, huh?
Not any problem can be solved. There you go. You use your finger. Here, something like that. We have little darks. Well, you know, along the shoreline over here. These are much darker here. Just along the bottom there. I'll pull a couple of those into there. And I'll wash those away. And then I'll lighten this up by adding just a little bit of water. Some of those little tree-ish things there. Got a lot of orange and stuff. Trees are just shedding their winter coat. The orangey things there. And I take those right down into the water. You know, might be a good idea to hydrate this area. So my color of my mountains is really lightened up on me. Okay, no problem. Just put it back.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So did that color. Okay. And I'll take some of that dark, you know? Take that in there. Some of that too. And give them some little ripples, not too much. They're just really fuzzy at that distance. They're just kind of fuzzy. And then I just twist the brush like that when I get the point. And then I mean, this big giant brush gives me those razor sharp little lines. You don't need small brushes. Plus this carries a lot more paint, so I don't have to keep reloading. And those back there look like branches, but up here they look like branches.
Branches with some leaves.
Twigs.
Probably those distant branches have leaves on them too.
Are those nests on top?
Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
egret
Oh, I see a
nest.
bird in one.
Yeah.
Don't you see a white bird?
No. Oh.
I bet they're eagles.
No, not eagle.
Egrets. Egrets.
There's an eagle in Big Bear
Yeah.
that you can follow.
But
An eagle's nest.
oh.
Yeah, they're worried about the chicks. They think the chicks
Chicks
should
are
have
not
hatched
hatching.
now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at the rocks now. They look exactly like that.
Just pulling off some highlights,
They think
little
the
nest
chicks
areas.
hatched by now.
And they haven't.
Oh,
So
Little-
they think that they're kind of
Yeah.
not going to make it. Oh.
Little birdie in there. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
I wish there was something we could do.
Should I put the little birds in the sky?
No.
And for some of these, you know, just watch with the side of the brush. No, just the side of the brush. So the tip of the brush for these twigs, side of the brush for the dry brush. You see how you can get billions and billions and trillions of leafy, scruffy millions of leaves over in there. Just,
Well, you put a nest in, didn't you?
I don't miss a thing.
You know, that's true. I love it.
And some of these just, you know, just little. I like to take some of the branches and whatever and see what that does. It really feels reflective. Things like that. That. And then make sure you kind of blur them a little bit. It starts feeling reflective. Needs a couple of those. Yeah, now with some white, I could put some of those little trails in there. Or I could scratch back into it. That might be fine. If you wanted to scratch back into it, um, just wet the surface. I'm going to lose my little... oh well, we'll see what happens. Hydrate the surface. Then get yourself a nice little fingernail. A fingernail there and just gonna... Nope. I see something there, but not too much. Maybe a palette knife too.
Oh, you're doing the white building?
No, I'm putting a wake in there of water. No white buildings today.
Okay.
I even left out those nice little, that dead grass, or the
Oh,
Did.
what the
Yeah.
water-
Yeah.
Put
what
that
is
in
it?
now.
Now what some people will do is, if you didn't know this, lemon yellow typically has some white in it. So if you really wanted to put that in, put it on kind of dry. Like that. Pull a little bit down into the water. You know, because it's so saturated, it'll really stand out. So what I'll do is let it dry a little bit. Here, see, the more I work with it, the darker it gets.
Yeah.
There we go. Maybe add a little red to it.
Is that because it's pulling some of the color from the bottom layer?
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. It worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, just know that the lemon yellow, actually any yellow usually is a bit whiter than your others, but the lemon yellow can be quite white. And just remember, typically where it hits the water, you'll get some kind of line, and usually a dark or a light. See what that does? Just kind of splits the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you'll get a white highlight in there too, but just...
Looks photorealistic.
Does it? Well, I'm a photocopier guy right here. Hey, you know what?
But better. Better than photorealism.
Darn it. Yeah. And you know what? If I had some white, I might do this, but I could take some dead grass up into here and flick that down into there. Just do a little dry brushing. It could be there. Yeah. Okay. And maybe give it some shadows. Like little shadows on the, if the light's coming from over here, little shadows on the left side. Just pull them into the water and ripple away.
Wow.
Hey, yeah, I wish. Yeah. It'd be nice if I had a couple more shadows in my mountains, but I really have lost all my shadows, huh? Wow.
Could you wet it and put them in now if you
The
wanted?
shadows?
If you wanted to.
Just all I have to do for the shadows is, I think I used a color like this. I could come back in and see a couple. That's pretty dark. We have a long one in there, yeah. It just kind of creeps up like that. One of those. That will dry lighter. This one here's got a long, like that. I just used cobalt blue. You see, it's glazed on top of these other colors, so you won't see a true cobalt blue unless you glaze it over white. So it just ends up being kind of a grayish shadow, which is fine with me.
That's beautiful.
And I'll just if they get too hard edged or too dark, I'll just lighten them up with a dry brush will suck up the extra water. See, I get it wet, I dry the brush, and then it just acts like a sponge, see? So sometimes the edges get a little hard to be that far away. So I just want to, like this. Sometimes I like the way that looks though, but if I want to soften the edge, just that'll do it. And these edges too. We're not packing them in today, but oh well. Oh, now I should have taken those shadows and put them down into the. It never ends. See, it never ends. But you get the idea, right?
The
But it never
shadows would be
ends.
very muted
See?
in the
Yeah.
Like that. So then that would come back this way. That would come back this way. These, that, and that, and then of course that's too hard edge. So you'll want some rippleization.
What was the word?
Rippleization.
Ripetization.
Good one.
Thank you. See those? Yeah. I like it.
Or
That's why you.
rip. Yeah,
Yeah.
ripple was
Or ripplicious. Ripplicious. You could say ripplemondo. Rippemondo.
Rippamungus? Ripple.
Repolarize.
Hmm.
Ooh, I like that. I'll have to write that one down.
Done.
Done. Nick, sign it.
Yeah.
What color? Red?
Red.
I'll wait for some.
Because
So this is where
you always have to sign it in red. It's very important.
It's kind of orangey there.
Yeah, I know.
It's really beautiful
It's
on there.
better.
Great.
Oh, I love
Good.
that.
It acts like a little weight down there.
It does. It kind of counters the shadow on the other side.
I did that on purpose.